And he goes, what, film about what? And the first thought came to my mind, a prostitute from Oakland. And he was excited about it. So I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. But I think developing the script, developing the film, it came from personal notes. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I have several family members that have partaken in the game. A lot of friends growing up in Oakland, you either grew up with a drug dealer, a killer, a pimp, a prostitute. It was just normal. And, things like that was glorified growing up. But the older I got, I have a young daughter now. It's very important to get this story out there because it's very real. A lot of the scenes in this movie, you may think, oh, they probably went too far. But we know people firsthand that have went through situations like this.
Yes, there's a lot of people who's went through a lot, and we wanted to make sure that it felt uncomfortable. It made us feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel uncomfortable having this out because it's like being picked apart. It's like, wow, they went so far. And it's a system. I was really excited because I was like, we can actually attack the system that's not working for any of us. The system is failing too many people. And personally, I had my grandfather was a police officer. My uncle is a spokesperson. He's for San Francisco Police Department. Had a lot of help there. And my father was a criminal, so I knew both sides. I was able to see. So we really get intricate. It's just, but in the system, it's like we have family members in and out of the system, and it's like this. Where do you go? Where do these are children? Like it's not sex. It's rape. It's slavery. And I want to make sure that we projected that because as we cannot do a lot of things. We're not able to save the world, but this film is a tool that we can use because we're creators. And that's why it's important for the arts to have a voice. And that's why we wanted to be able to attack all these things that's wrong that we see, and with our tool.
Yeah, I mean the title of the movie is The Broken Rose, but Rose was not the only one broken in this film. Shaka was broken, the system was broken, Richard was broken. Everything was just broken about this film that we pieced together, and I think it's a very powerful tool to tell a story.
Is Rose based on a real person?
It's someone's story. There's a Rose out there, I guarantee you right now, in the streets of New York. New York City has many Roses that, this is an uncomfortable topic, so people try to blind their eyes to it. And it's in someone's life right now.
How do you guys work together to essentially create a single script and go through the story?
I spend a lot of nights at his house.
I mean, we full-time jobs. I actually own a business, but we would work.
What kind of business?
I'm asket salesman, but they're not. So, and I manage cemeteries. So I definitely want to get out of that business and, partake into the film industry. So, woke up, wanting to film. But we would work and then he'd spend the night and we'd work 2 hours, 3 hours a night. Took us about a year to write the script.
Because we're busy.
Yeah, it probably took us about 2 months, 3 months.
We can write. Yeah, we wrote since then. We wrote things in 2 weeks. It's just at that time we were really busy in 2015 when we started writing.
Yeah, so it took us about a year to write. After we wrote it, it took us about almost a year to cast. Almost.
Yeah,
a very long time to cast.
So when did you finish writing it?
Okay. We wrote it. We were finished by January 2016. We started January 2015. Then I didn't want to really work on it anymore. I was like, I'm ready to move to the next project. I was like, we're not gonna. Let's move on. But he was really like, no, we gotta get it made. We gotta get it made. And then we started working. He was gonna start working on it. And I was like, I'm leaving the country. I went to Costa Rica, and then we made a trailer. begging for money, and then we started in February. We cast the person as Brian. We had our first casting in February of 2010, and by April we had majority of the cast. We had a couple loose ends. We were gonna start filming in July of 2017. We quit, and we decided we weren't gonna do the film. And then at the end of the conversation, we were like, okay, we're gonna do the film. But we had to change the date. We started filming in September of 2017, 15-day shoot, wrapped it, and by the 15th of September 2017, had our first cut in November 2017. Once it started moving, we started moving fast.
Pretty good.
I want to tell a story about how we casted this guy. So it pretty much was the last casting for Shaka, and Evan was actually the last person at the audition. So we auditioned all day, and the person before him, we actually gave him the part.
He's from Jersey too.
Yeah, he's from Jersey. He was good. So I was like, yeah, we found him. So he walks out the door, and when I'm walking him out, I see him coming out of the restroom. So I'm like, okay, let's give this guy a chance, but we already found our guy, right?
Everybody that shows up gets an audition.
So they thought, yes. So I was like, all right, action. And he blew our minds.
And we were trying to pretend like he didn't have it. Like, me call you back.
Our people will call your people. And yeah, we called him back. And I think it was a major blessing. I mean, look at it.
He's nothing like the character he portrayed, I'll tell you that.
No, that's what I was doing. I wanted to get into that.
While filming, I had to teach him how to wear his pants low.
Not a joke at all. This was very
True.
true.
Pull your pants lower.
You played a pastor, right? A couple years ago. That's what these gentlemen done.
Yes, sir. Prior to being casted in The Broken Rose, I was on tour with The Lord, What Can I Do Right? And I was the lead in that as well, where I played a rehabilitated drug addict turned pastor. So being able to land this role and it being my first feature film and being able to knock it out the park. Amazing.
Is it a little scary for you to take on such a dark figure?
I'll say no, because, and I will keep reiterating this only because I've heard Denzel Washington say this in interviews, where our job as the actor is to tell the truth. No matter the story, science fiction, nonfiction, fiction, fan fiction, real, whatever you want to call it. Our job is to tell that truth in that story. So being raised by women and being the oldest of 4 on my mother's side or 5 on my father's side, where I'm the only male, I need to represent what I felt was literally the worst circumstance I could see any of my aunties, sisters, or cousins being in, or any female rather. My job was to be that dark figure that we would run away from or try to tell people to stay away from, because that's what the story is about.
Would you describe Shaka as an evil person?
In all honesty, that's a good question. In all honesty, I feel that he was a victim of circumstance, as we probably saw, a little bit at least with how he was raised from his mother. All he saw was that I should be rewarding this women for being present in my life, per se. And when he grew up and found that outlet of his expression, this just happened to be the route he took. And unfortunately, I'm sure we've all know this, hurt people hurt people. So that's all he knew. That's all he knew to do.
I think you're giving me a little bit too much of a pass there, perhaps, to kill it.
Yeah. So all in all, the answer to your question is yes.
But you managed, that's one thing you guys, you gentlemen, managed to do, is to bring complexity to these characters.
Absolutely.
Nobody is, you get inside the head of these characters. That's very impressive.
Yeah. We wanted to make sure that as like sometimes good people do bad things and bad people do good things sometimes. We're really complex people. Some people are just all the way bad, but at any moment they can do one good thing, even if they're inherently bad.